a cheese dip or something. We have wings and pizza.
I have chips. We have wings. I think we have cheese sticks.
Okay, we'll get some food. Some drinks back here to do this.
You're gonna have all that crunching sound, though.
That's true. Well, if we need to chew on something, we'll just face away from the
Face away from the...
Yeah. Or it's another ASMR scenario. Now, I can see your pile of pages, so...
Yes, that's right.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm set up, I think.
I have one sheet. It's a big sheet. You know, that you'd see... like on the sideline, the head coach with the big...
Like clipboard?
Yeah. Well, it's not... Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's not. But yeah.
Well, that's what I bring every year. Hello, everybody. I am now Kevin.
You are now Kevin?
Yes.
I am also Rachel.
Fine, I am Kevin.
And I'm Rachel.
And this is a special episode of Shelf Life. We are coming to you live from the Shelf Life studios. Well, not live. We're coming to you not live from the Shelf Life studios to bring you a special episode.
Maybe these should be done live.
No. That's way too much pressure. What we're doing today is we're doing a bonus episode. This is going to be something that we hope to do every year around this time. If we timed this right, if I edited this correctly, we are going to release this around the same time as everyone's favorite weekend of the year. For me personally.
Everybody's personal
That's
favorite.
Right. This is the first annual Shelf Life Fantasy Draft. And we're going to start off with it. We have not tested this.
Nope.
We don't know how this is going to go. We're doing
this time
just with myself and Rachel. Maybe we'll bring in other people for future seasons.
I think that could be fun.
I think what will happen is if this works, because right now we only have season 1. You should be in the midst of season 1 right now.
Right, yes.
Next year, we should have at least 2, maybe 3 as well. So we have more characters. We'll have a lot more to work with. So we'll see how this goes. But we're going to put a little twist on it. Because for Rachel and myself, we have been gigantic fantasy football players for most of our lives.
It's his fault that I am.
Yes. Rachel, back-to-back...
Thank you.
You were in the championship game this year.
I've been in the championship.
I think we should explain, because what I'm hoping is that we're pulling in some fantasy footballers right now. Not literally the fantasy footballers, but some fantasy football players right now who stumbled upon this because it said fantasy draft, and they're like, oh crap, I thought they were going to talk about whether or not I should draft Justin Jefferson or Cooper Kupp. And in reality, they're going to hear Rachel explain why she's drafting Kramer in the first round.
That's a big one. Ooh, that's a biggie.
So, let us explain. So, 2 things with this. If you are new to the program because you're coming in, what we'd like to do is we talk
might
about...
have fun if this is like their first
I know,
one.
that's what I gotta say. So, we're doing this...
Welcome.
We are a podcast that goes through all things pop culture and determines whether or not those pieces of pop culture belong on your shelf. So, we've done... Or you're in the middle of releasing season 1. So, we have some different topics that we've covered, and what we're going to do here is we are going to draft the characters from those shows, books, or movies that we have covered, and we are going to put together teams, not necessarily fantasy football teams.
That is correct. We have a wheel.
We have a wheel. We're going to go over the wheel. And I do want to make sure that people understand that we are good at fantasy football. I haven't won a championship in about a decade, but Rachel had, your team last year had Jonathan Taylor, Cooper Kupp, Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah.
Lost in the championship.
That is correct.
Yeah. I don't know how that happened. To be fair...
Really should have won again. That would have been my second year in a row, too.
Yes, that would have been 2 championships in a row, because she did win the championship the year before that.
That is correct.
With a weaker team.
But it was still a good team.
It was still a good team, but it was you had Alvin Kamara
It was
and
consistent.
Yeah, it was consistent.
Thank you.
We're hoping that we can make this kind of a thing while the real fantasy football drafts are going on. We have the Shelf Life Fantasy Football Draft. And maybe we'll bring in some more teams and people to help us with the draft. Join us on this bit of
we'd love it if you guys also joined us on this. And once we pick our scenario... I want to see what your fantasy team would look like.
Yeah, make your own wheel. spin it. You could do different scenarios based on our
season,
rosters.
Yeah.
That we have, our available players to draft, available
Right.
characters to draft. Now, I want to be clear about something with the characters.
Oh, no. Uh-oh.
Just because, there could be a background character, and you're like, I want that guy. No, they gotta have to be, like, a viable character
Right.
from the show.
Yeah.
Okay? It can't just be like, oh, yeah, there was, an 8-foot ogre in the background. I want him as my linebacker.
Well, what was that ogre's name? Do you know anything
Yes,
about
exactly.
that ogre?
If there's
That's
information,
what matters.
if it was part of the show, yes. So we'll see how it goes. But like I said, we're not. Does that cover everything? I guess we should say what characters are available.
Oh boy, we're gonna
So
go through all of
well,
them.
not all the characters, but just what
Oh, like
are
the season, the movies,
yes,
the
yes, that we're pulling it from.
Right.
Yeah. So Rachel, do you want to run that down?
So, for our season 1, we started off with the faculty.
Mm-hmm.
Then, so any characters from that. Then we have small soldiers, which includes the toys. They
Yes,
are characters. We have the Simpsons. Only season 1
Season 1.
of Simpsons, though. Don't just start pulling from other seasons for this. You can't do that. Okay.
No.
Seinfeld, again, season 1. Twilight Zone, season 1, which also includes Rod Serling, because I said we need to include him. He is a character in the show.
And only the first 4 episodes of the Twilight Zone.
That's correct, yes. We also have Old Man Logan, the comic book. Then we have Usual Suspects. And then we finish it off with The Phantom Menace, which I also have IMDb open because I do not know any of these characters' names.
Which you'll find out in another potential bonus episode later in the season.
Oh my god, I forgot we did that.
Yeah. So, we've explained the rules. I think we'll explain the rules a little bit more once we pick our scenario. Or I guess we can do that while we do the wheel. So let's go over to the Wheel of Fantasy, and we will decide what we're going to spin. So we've got a wheel. We have different scenarios. Okay. So we've got the fantasy wheel here, or the Wheel of Fantasy. I like saying blank of blank because it makes it sound more official.
It's a Wheel of
Like
Fantasy.
the Hand of the King. The Wheel of Fantasy. Yes.
Interesting.
So our first potential
Wheel of Scenarios.
Yes, is fantasy football. If we land on this, we will be drafting a team of 8, very typical of a fantasy football roster. We're going to pick someone to be a quarterback. We'll get 2 running backs, 2 wide receivers, a tight end, a kicker, and a defensive squad. Meaning, you can take, like, for instance, because I know that we would both consider, this was probably the top-ranked defense, in my opinion. It would be the Hulks from Old Man Logan. So, like, you could take the Hulks
nice and
as your
bulky.
defense. Yes,
Yeah.
very bulky. That will be if we land on fantasy
You could go
football.
like the Binks family from Jar Jar
That's
Binks
true.
as well.
You could get the
know.
Binkses.
I feel like they would also be a part of that.
Mm-hmm. So I think fantasy football will always be... And what we decided to do for the wheel is some of them are going to be always on the wheel because they're just fun things to potentially draft.
Right.
And then some of them are based on the genre or the scene, the setting that we have in the seasons, which you'll see as we go through. So Rachel, what else do we got on the board?
So the next that we have is a treasure hunt. A treasure hunt. Now I'm talking like we didn't want to be very specific about this, but think a pirate or think like you're going and trying to find something kind of Dungeons and Dragons-ish if you think about it that way.
You're putting together a team.
You're putting together a team to find a treasure. And for this, we have it where you can have up to, and not going over, 7.
Yeah.
But you can go a little, if you want less, because you gotta think about it this way, with a treasure hunt, you gotta split whatever you get. So, if you want to think about it that way, how many people would you want on your team?
Next, we have a wrestling stable. So this one will be between 5 and 8 different characters. And if you think about any wrestling stable, you have your champion. You have a tag team, potentially. You have the women's champion. You could have a mid-carder, a muscle. You could have a manager. So a lot of different people could be in your wrestling stable. Think, for those of you that are not in pro wrestling, think your NWOs, your DXs, your Evolutions.
Shield.
The Shield, exactly.
Yeah.
Shield was all even. They're built a little differently.
But I like them.
No, I'm just saying they were built.
You could have that kind of a stable,
You could.
though.
You could.
If that's what you want. For our next scenario, we have the Superhero Initiative. Okay, so obviously the first thing you probably think of when you hear Superhero Initiative is Marvel and the Avengers.
Right.
That is where we're going with this.
Yes. You're
But-
making a superhero team out of the characters.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And for this team, we have it set to only 6 characters. Like
It's
the
about-
main 6 characters of your superhero
It's pretty
initiative.
Marvel-y.
I would think so.
I would say Avengers is usually
Again, it's
around
kind
there.
of well balanced. You want to make sure you have
Yeah.
like a muscle.
Yeah.
You have like a tactical kind
Right.
of a person,
Yeah.
you know, et cetera, et cetera.
Next one we have is Deserted Island. So we're thinking a Gilligan's Island scenario,
That's
I think,
right.
for to inhabit the island and then to eventually escape the island.
Right.
Lost or Gilligan's Island style. So we're looking at 7 people, because that's the number of Gilligan's Island characters
Right.
there are, to have with you on the deserted island. This is important. This is an important one to get right, because you want people that you can get along with,
Right.
but could also help you survive.
Exactly. Going along the same idea.
You're gonna be like, what is that dinging?
this is the wheel,
Yeah.
people. This is us changing to the next rung of the wheel.
Yeah.
But same idea as the deserted island. This is a wilderness survival scenario
Mm-hmm.
where you're somehow just trapped in the wilderness, or you somehow just became lost, right? And you're gonna want a team of 5 to help you survive and potentially find escape in the wilderness.
That's right. Next, we have the post-apocalypse.
Feels like a classic to
Yes, so this is going to be if you're in the world of the post-apocalypse and you need to put together a group, a family, if you will,
Right.
a community to live with in the post-apocalypse. Who are you going to pick? And we're going to go with 7 on this one as well,
me. Right.
because we don't want to go too large, because then you're just making a city.
Yeah, pretty much, and then that would just be like,
Yeah.
too much.
Yeah.
You could just say everyone.
Too much.
Here comes another classic scenario, the heist.
Yes.
So you have to pull off a heist, and you get to pick up to 11 characters for this one to pull off some sort of heist situation.
But if you pick people in this, pick characters in this, you have to explain what their role would be.
Yes.
So you can't just pick 11 because you think they'd all be good at
Like,
stealing.
how
are
would
going
they
to
work
help
together?
you? Yeah. How are they going to help in that heist? Next, very good one here, an alien invasion.
I think this is a fantastic one.
Yeah, so you need to pick a team to help you, or I guess to just fend off an alien invasion. So between 6 and 7 we're looking at there to draft.
I think that was like a good amount of characters for that one.
And then finally...
It didn't ding.
I know.
Um,
No, I didn't think that time.
and finally, our last one is the zombie apocalypse. So same idea, post-apocalyptic, but there's zombies.
You're in the middle of the zombie
Yeah, we're not like
apocalypse,
starting it off. We're not,
Yeah.
this is the smack dab in the middle of the zombie
though.
apocalypse.
Zombies are here. You're trying to survive.
And you're trying to pull together a team to keep yourself safe and also to live and survive together. And that's again going to be a team of 7.
So that is the wheel. So apologies if you all thought that we were going to talk about Jonathan Taylor or Christian McCaffrey, who you should pick number 1. It's Jonathan Taylor. I don't know who... Now, Rachel, would you pick Derrick Henry before Christian McCaffrey this year?
I don't know.
I mean, because I have a feel you're going to be at the
But
back of the draft because you're in the
I
championship
am.
game, and the way that our home league works, folks, is it's like a lottery system. So since she was in the championship, the likelihood of her getting an early pick is really
my weight is very light.
yeah. So you're not going to have to worry about like Cooper. It's going to
I
kind of
might.
suck for you. 'Cause
I
you're
don't.
not
You
gonna
don't
get
know.
Cooper Cup.
You
No,
don't know.
he's going.
Stuff has
I will
dropped
take
before.
him. I will take him if I guess I shouldn't say this because if people that
Now I
are in
know.
the league with us
That's
are listening,
right.
he ain't going to drop all the way to like
You don't know
11 or
that.
12.
You don't know that. Stuff has dropped before.
Stuff has dropped before, but
And
don't
I
know
was
if he
like-
will.
And then I just took it. You just kind of have to go for it then.
All right.
If it's there.
We'll see. We'll see how it goes. We'll explain. So anyway, folks at home that want to do the Shelf Life Fantasy Draft, those are our scenarios. Rachel, would you like to take...
I was going to say we will put up the template as well as the list of characters we're using onto our website.
Oh, there you go.
So if you
Okay.
do want to play along and you don't have the list in front of you, you can get it from there.
Okay, there you go. Would you like to spin the wheel to determine what we
get to
will
spin it?
draft?
This is
I'll
the
let
first
you spin
time.
it.
Okay,
Yes.
here we go.
Okay.
Oh, that was...
That was a terrible
Hold on, let me
spin.
try that again.
There we go. What are you hoping for?
I don't know.
Here we go. Yeah.
Ooh!
Oh. All right, we are drafting a team based off of the Shelf Life Season 1 characters to survive a zombie apocalypse. Zombie apocalypse is what we've got going on here. I'm pretty excited. This was one of the ones I was hoping we would get.
This is a fun one. We were close to getting a football one, which was going to be like a classic, you know.
Yeah.
We're going to do a football one.
We have to... Okay, so we're going to do Serpentine style, Snakes draft style, because that's the only fair way to do this. But who gets first pick?
Well, I mean, I'll shoot you for it.
Okay, I'll choose you. Do you want odds or evens?
I want evens.
Alright. I'll take odds. Best of 5. 1, 2, 3, shoot!
Yes!
Damn it. 1, 2, 3, shoot!
Damn it.
Okay. 1 and 1. That was a 5, so we're at 1 and 1 right now. Okay, ready? 1, 2, 3, shoot!
Yes!
3 and 3, that's 6. Okay. Hold on. So, yeah. Okay. Ready? 1, 2, 3, shoot!
Oh, shoot.
All right, 2. That was a
Oh,
2 and a
come
1, so it's
on.
3. All right, it comes down to this. Here we go. All
Oh, I gotta stretch. Okay.
1, 2, 3, shoot!
Yes!
Damn it. 2 and 2. Why did I put 2? Why did I put 2? Okay, so Rachel gets the first pick. You get the first pick in the zombie survival fantasy draft for season 1 of Shelf Life. Rachel, I'm going to put you on the clock, and you may make your first pick whenever.
This is a hard one.
This is the first pick.
See, here, I gotta think everybody has the ability to become a zombie as well.
That's right.
Nobody is gonna be like, oh, I'm immune to it. No.
Yeah.
Who? Who would be
I'm
immune
just
to
saying
it?
there could be characters that are.
What, like the robots? Yeah, obviously. Come on.
But are they going to be helpful?
Right. That's a big question. Are they just going to sit there and complain the whole time? Because I'm not going to want to listen to them just bitch at me. Yes, that's exactly who I'm talking about. Thank you. R2-D2 makes some cute noises. Maybe too loud. Maybe too loud, you know? I mean, hold on. Let me just...
I've got Martin Prince pretty high for this one.
Oh my god, from The Simpsons?
I was just looking randomly at a page.
Oh my god. This is hard. Who do I want? This is like the first pick, too.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if I wanted this. This is too much pressure.
It's a lot of pressure.
This is too much pressure. What are you doing?
I just tried. Remember, I'm right behind you. Get just ready.
Well, because there's so with a zombie apocalypse. Sure, let me. I
Okay,
pulled up a
go ahead
for a second.
Go ahead.
So
I'm
you
listening.
need a leading position. You know, someone who's just really good at commanding and keeping everybody together and in a line. Then you need special positions. You know, most likely some type of military background, right? Then you have like the non-combative roles, obviously building, food, and scavenging. You know, stuff like that.
This is how you're building it.
Yeah, this is what you need for a zombie apocalypse.
That's what you say. I could just be building a team of badasses.
I mean, yeah, good luck. I mean,
like-
I guess if you're just running
like
around
Negan style.
shooting everything, sure.
Yeah. I'm just gonna get Tallahassee, and we don't have any zombie shows.
We don't
either.
have
That's
any
what
zombie
makes
shows right now, so this is really good. It's kind of good that we didn't get an alien one, because, I mean, there's a lot of aliens in this one.
Yeah, alien invasion. I'll take all the aliens from Phantom Menace. It's the first pick. It's a big decision.
I think...
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god, because it's from the thing they are from, too, so I have to be, like, careful. I hate this already, Kevin. I hate this. You realize how much I hate this.
Well, who are you thinking? Do you have any?
Well,
Are you trying to narrow it down?
I'm trying to narrow it down. I'm trying to think of somebody who's good at fighting. I'm going for a fighter first. I think. I don't think I want a small fighter.
No.
So I have to kind of,
So George Costanza's out.
George Costanza. I'm so sorry, hun, but you're not going to be my first pick.
He could be a dark horse for me. I'll explain why.
Interesting.
I'll explain why.
Okay, all right. Well,
because he is going to be a little shit heel, taking your stuff.
That's right.
That's kind of part of the problem. But
I think I have to go Emma Frost.
Emma Frost.
Yeah.
Okay.
I feel like
this is the old Emma Frost from Old Man Logan. Remember?
Yeah, I know.
Okay.
But I feel like she's a good leader and a good fighter at the same time.
I didn't see you going that route.
I didn't either. Okay. And I just went for it.
So Emma Frost is up on the board.
Is that stupid? Maybe it's a stupid one. I can't even think of, like... She's still a good fighter in that one. She still kicks everybody's ass.
Emma Frost. So crossing Emma Frost off my list. I didn't see that as the number one pick.
I know. To be honest with you. I was going to go with something else, and then I didn't.
Yeah.
So now I'm, like, regretting it.
Well, what else would you go with?
I was still sticking with the Logan area, and I was also thinking Hawkeye.
Interesting. He's blind, though.
I know,
a blind man during the zombie
But that man that could fight, and zombies make a lot of noise, so he could easily target everything around him.
That's true.
And now I just gave you that idea.
Well,
no, I still like the idea of Emma Frost, because I feel like she has a lot of control over things and people, so in case anything goes out of line, then, I have Emma to help with that.
That's true. She does control people's minds.
And especially if we have to deal with other, actual humans in the zombie apocalypse, we can just, nip that in the butt real quick.
Okay, alright. I am going to go... I hate to say that I'm going to stick with Old Man Logan on this.
See, I thought that too. That was another one.
There's a few I want. There's definitely a few that I want. And I'm trying to figure out... See, the problem is I'm trying to figure out if I can wait to get them, because you might take them. That's the problem.
Interesting.
So I'm going to have to pull the trigger on a couple of these, I think, early on. And I'm going to go with... For my first pick, I'm going to go with Logan.
Okay.
I'll explain why.
No, I mean, that was a good one.
He runs a pig farm, so he knows how to farm.
Yes.
A bit, in some pretty bad conditions. He always heals. So even if he gets bit by the zombie, I think he will heal from the zombie
I don't know if that's true. Because... well, I guess I shouldn't go off of other,
I guess for
lore,
this scenario, you kind of can.
But with the comics, there are zombies.
There are.
And I believe he's one of them.
There is a universe where Wolverine turns into a zombie, sure.
So, I don't know if everybody's just there's anybody
but
that's
he can fight, and I think even if he wanted to be in his pacifist role, he would defend from zombies, because they're already dead. So I don't think him taking out the claws to kill zombies he would have a problem with. Okay. So I'm going with Logan.
Okay.
All right. And for my second pick, this one might be a bit controversial, because I think he could be problematic.
Oh.
Because of his allegiances, but I think if he understood to pull together as a team to stop the zombies, he could be all right. That's Darth Maul.
Damn it!
I'm taking Darth Maul.
No, I wanted Darth Maul.
He's way better at fighting than...
Very upset about this.
I think he's ahead of Obi-Wan at this point.
No, I agree.
And Qui-Gon is too drunk and old for me to realistically take. Although does the Jedi mind trick work on zombies? I don't know.
Ooh, I don't think it would.
Because then I might have picked Qui-Gon.
Because think about how their brains work.
Yeah, but I think
broken
Darth
down.
Maul, he's fast, he can fight.
I know.
He doesn't talk, so I don't have to worry about him having lip with Logan. I think if we can get him on the same page, I've got a hell of a team going. Rachel, you are back on the clock.
I hate everything.
There's still some good picks out there.
I'm so mad that you took Darth Maul. I wanted Darth Maul.
I'm sorry.
That's
why I knew I had to take him. I didn't necessarily want to take him right there, but I felt like you were going to grab him. Barbara Jean Trenton. She would annoy the zombies to death.
Oh my god.
Lou Bookman can talk those zombies down from...
I'm struggling.
Well, you're trying to build more of a keep everybody going type of environment.
We gotta have that kind of thing.
Yeah.
It's gotta be kind of well-rounded, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So, you've got...
but I only get 7.
Right. But you can pull in... You could definitely pull in a scout, a survivalist, a mechanic.
You reading all of these?
Yeah. I'm looking at, because there are,
Well, I have an idea for a mechanic type character.
Okay.
But I don't know yet.
Okay.
Again, I feel like I'm pulling for, the ones I'm looking at are all from the same idea, and I don't want to go there, which is the problem.
Mm-hmm. Is it Brad from Small Soldiers?
Is Brad ever gonna get chosen?
Folks at home, let us know if you drafted Brad from Small Soldiers for some reason. For any of the scenarios.
I think the one that did a lot of the building, though, in here was Link, wasn't it? Is he the one that built the Gwendy dolls?
Who did it? Yeah, I can't remember. It must have been Link, because he's the one that knows the...
He was the communications expert.
Yeah.
Which could be a really good one to have,
Could
too.
be good
However,
to have.
I have Emma Frost already. She can read your fucking
That's
mind.
true, so you don't need a lot of
I
communication.
don't need that shit.
Yeah.
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 Nick Nitro is just Boom, I believe. Brick Bazooka is also just kind of like a big butch meat. I'm trying to remember everything.
It's been a while.
They all have specialties.
Yeah. He's a sniper.
Mm.
Could be a scout.
Yeah. I think Kip is the one. Covert Ops.
An assassin.
That's good, though, because he's quiet, sneaky, can get in and out.
6 inches tall.
God damn it, Kevin. I'm just trying to, look at everybody, because it's like, I feel like it's too easy to just pick from Logan.
Yeah. Well, the faculty's got some good ones. Small Soldiers does have a lot of funny ones that you could pick.
That's kind of what I was going for.
Yeah, but there's a couple in the Twilight Zone that would be good, too.
I know, I thought of that, too.
I know who you were probably thinking.
Who?
Mr. Death.
I always want Mr. Death.
'Cause
Mr. Death is fantastic.
He controls death.
That's right.
So... But he could be a little stinker and be
he could be an
we're
asshole.
all just gonna die.
Right. I don't want to have to deal with that cynicism the entire time we're in a zombie. You don't want that. You need, somebody uplifting. Which you could be Bookman. But we're not gonna go with Bookman.
Right.
Well,
not for the second pick. Maybe in the middle rounds.
I was kind of thinking...
Watto.
Stop it. Oh my god. I don't want to follow you and go to Phantom Menace. I want to go somewhere different.
You need a kid in the zombie apocalypse.
You really,
for hope.
really don't.
Represent hope.
Okay, part of me wants Insaniac.
He could be a pretty good fighter, yeah.
He's a bit rambunctious, but then Emma might be able to control him.
Could calm him down. Could focus his energy.
Right, you gotta focus it. Frankenstein could be a really good one, though, because he's smart. He knows how to build shit.
No, that's... Oh, they all do. Didn't they all build him back up?
Yeah, they use just,
use
some
the
random
radio,
stuff, yeah.
Well, I have a couple in Small Soldiers that I'm looking at, too.
Whatever. Phil. That's what you
Yeah.
want. You want Phil. Alright, I'm gonna go... Okay. After a lot of thinking...
Second round pick.
I think I'm gonna go with a fighter that's gonna be kind of quick and in and out and small, so that he can kind of get around the zombies when he needs to. Mm-hmm. Might be a little crazy, and I think Emma can kind of keep him in line. I'm gonna go with, from Small Soldiers, Insaniac.
Insaniac.
I know you hate that character.
I hate Insaniac.
But I think
don't want to live in your zombie land.
Would we actually want to live with any of these characters?
I think Emma Frost might just make him sleep when he's
not useful. Yeah, just keep him kind of calm.
Yeah.
But I think he'd be a good fighter.
Okay.
And you could get in, get out, especially if we have to get into a building, you just throw him in there, he just goes crazy. Sure. Bring him back out.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he's a toy.
Go around and
I would say that the toys cannot be turned.
Right. That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a big one.
So it is important.
The zombies won't even look at him because they're like,
so.
You're not alive. What the hell do I care?
But in my scenario, you could end up getting to see zombie Darth Maul.
I know.
And quite frankly,
cool
that sounds really cool. Alright, so Rachel's got Emma Frost and Insaniac, and she's got another pick on deck here for
I have
round
another
3.
one? Oh,
yeah,
Jesus.
Snake Draft.
Okay, I think for this one, I'm gonna have to go with...
Boss names.
Stop! Can I even pick anybody from Phantom Menace? I don't even know if I can. They're so annoying. Every one of them is so annoying.
And remember, they're only from Phantom. So, you take Yoda, you're getting Yoda from Phantom Menace.
Yeah, but he's still Yoda.
Yeah, he sits on his ass. You don't know what he can do. That's what he does.
I guess that's kind of true. Alright, for my second...
Third pick.
My third pick, I'm going to go with... I have to have Hawkeye. I want Hawkeye.
Yeah, take him.
I need Hawkeye.
She's taking Hawkeye.
I have to.
From Old Man Logan.
Yes.
So
I feel like he might be old.
Yes.
But that man is not backing down at all.
Knows how to drive a buggy.
Knows how to fight blind. And I feel like that's actually useful because we have to be quiet, right? In a zombie apocalypse situation. But the zombies are not. Mm-hmm. And that would definitely help him line up his shots easily.
Okay. It's a good pick. Yeah, you've definitely got... so you're saying, like, Emma, like, runs the town.
Yeah.
Hawkeye's kind of your scout.
Yeah.
Insaniac is the kind of a weapon to
kind
use.
of a weapon himself, yeah.
You'd almost have to go scouting with Hawkeye.
Right, so they kind of, like, group together.
Yeah, okay.
Which actually could work out really well, too, because
Insaniac
is loud as shit.
They're doing, like, the scavenging, the scouting. I mean, Hawkeye is a smuggler, so he does know how to do that. All right, it's a good pick. Okay, so I'm on the clock. I want somebody... I think I'm going to have to take them now.
Uh-oh.
Well, I could take them with my fourth pick. So let's see here. We've got...
Edna Krabappel.
Yep.
Ha!
That's what I was thinking. She would just be dismissive of the zombies?
The entire time.
I don't know if there's anybody from The Simpsons I can really take in this scenario. Mo?
Apu? Yeah. He knows how to use a gun.
He knows how to use a gun.
Sideshow Bob?
Sideshow Bob could work. But then I have two villains.
Yeah, that could be kind of dangerous now. You have two villains and a guy who just does not give a shit.
Okay, so I'm going to take someone... Shit. What? This could be a bad idea. This could be a bad idea or this could be a good idea. This could make it... Oh, see, he's a villain too.
Hold on,
And then the usual suspects guys all know how to shoot. And they're good. They're like good thieves.
As weird as it is, they worked together.
Yeah, and they worked together. But I've already got combustible elements with Logan and Darth Maul on the team.
I mean, Darth Maul doesn't open his mouth, though.
That's true.
So
he's still kind of combustible, though. Got Queen Amidala there. She could maybe like bring some order to it.
Oh, that's a good idea. Yeah. Sometimes I'm telling you, sometimes you need a leader.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you're gonna have chaos.
And where are we if we only have chaos? Okay, I am going to bring some order. See, it's gonna be.
Oh, I'm curious because I have a feeling you're looking at another villain and to bring order.
It's another villain, and that's
why
I can't
you're gonna have like an all-villain zombie team.
I don't know if I can take them.
You are a Negan.
Yeah, I don't know if I want to do that. All right, I'm gotta think about that some more.
I know who you're looking at.
Okay, I'm gonna take in with my third pick. I'm going to take Zeke Tyler from the faculty.
Damn, because he's so good at stuff.
Yes.
I was thinking about the same thing. I was going to wait on him.
Yeah.
No!
I want someone that I can potentially have to find a cure for the zombie apocalypse.
Damn you, because I wanted him.
And I think that he's level-headed enough.
Yes.
I think he could get along with Logan and Darth Maul.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And I think that he could be useful for testing supplies, food. He could be good at. He's very good at science. So I think it's a decent pick by me. Now I have to potentially do, and I think I'm going to have to do.
Oh no!
And I dread doing this because of the fact that I'm bringing in villains, and I got two heroes and I got a villain. Oh, this could be combustible. Folks at home, let me know if this is going to get combustible. I am taking, with my fourth pick, Major Chip Hazard.
I knew it!
If I need to get out of a zombie apocalypse, who better than an expert tactician like Major Chip Hazard? My only problem, the only potential downside, is that him and Logan are going to fucking hate each other.
Oh yeah, they are. They're gonna absolutely 100% butt heads.
But if we can focus Chip's mission, then we'll be okay.
Yeah.
But because he likes to be in charge, he's also 6 inches tall. So if he puts up too much of a hassle, Darth Maul can just laser him in the face.
Yeah, that's true. It's very true. See, I was worried.
But I think he has a lot of tactical experience to be able to help.
And I understand where you're going with, because you didn't pick Archer. You picked Major Chip Hazard, and there's a reason for that, because Archer is a pacifist,
yes,
and so is the rest of the team. However,
well,
this is why I chose Insaniac,
right?
Because Insaniac kind of he's only doing what Archer tells him to, but if we have a different leader telling him what to do, I feel like,
yes,
things could change.
Yes, it's possible. Okay, Rachel, make your 4th round selection, and then we'll take a short break.
I can't just pick everybody from Logan. I really want to, but I know I shouldn't.
You were looking at Ashley, weren't you?
I was looking at Ultron.
Oh. What do you do about zombies? You put a robot at it. This Ultron, though, is the domesticated pacifist. Right?
Yes, but he builds, so he can
That's
just be
true.
my builder.
That's true, he could be your builder. You could just take,
I don't want Anakin. Anakin's a little piece of shit. I'm sorry.
Alright. Because Anakin could be your builder.
Who are you thinking?
Who is Ashley's mom? What's her name?
Oh my god. No,
she's a mechanic.
She's kind of a badass.
Yeah.
She's kind of a badass. I cannot think of her name now.
We didn't have her on the roster list, but we should.
I feel like we should.
Yeah, she should be on there.
She belongs there.
Yeah. The moloids. You gotta... To take out a rattlesnake, you gotta get a mongoose. So you get the moloids in there. They just... destroy the world. But you got rid of those zombies.
I think you're gonna see what I'm looking up, but
that's okay.
Yeah, this is kind of what I'm thinking. Because I'm going along the same idea as you did.
Mm-hmm.
He was studying it. He understood it. Okay, so I kind of feel like I should go a similar route as to what you did, but instead of going with the child, I'm going with the actual university
Mine's a better character.
Graduate.
Alright, fine.
May have been taken over by aliens at this point, maybe just the actual doctor. Could be both.
I think either way you're okay.
Because the alien also just kind of takes over the mind. But I'm gonna go with Professor Edward Furlong of the faculty, because I feel like he actually wants to do more scientific work, and the same idea with Zeke. I feel like he could actually help us kind of understand and maybe help come up with a cure.
Sure. Okay. So, Edward Furlong.
That is correct.
Not
Professor.
the real Edward Furlong, but the professor. Edward Furlong. Taking off the list. Interesting teams. I got a lot of heavy hitters. Rachel's got a lot of thought put into hers.
Maybe I think about the zombie apocalypse a little too much.
Yeah, I'm just like, give me some people that'll kill the zombies, you know. Okay, so we are 4 rounds and we have 3 rounds to go. We're going to take a quick break from a fake sponsor, potentially, and we will be right back.
The Shelf Life Fantasy Draft is brought to you by Duff Beer. Can't get enough of that wonderful Duff. And by Globotech. Making swords into plowshares for you and your family. And by Lilt. The hell is that? Welcome back to the first annual Shelf Life Fantasy Draft.
Oh, well, hang on, I'm doing it. It's a fantasy draft. I'm having a snap.
I mean, I had my pretzels, but I didn't, bring them in here.
Professional. It's good. Okay. So welcome back, everyone. To recap where we're at right now, we are doing a fantasy draft from our characters that we had in Season 1 of Shelf Life, and we are doing a particular scenario. This one is for surviving in a zombie apocalypse. And Rachel drafted first. Her team consists of Emma Frost from Old Man Logan, Insaniac from Small Soldiers, Hawkeye, Old Man Hawkeye, really.
Right.
And Professor Edward Furlong, Jon Stewart's character,
yes,
from The Faculty.
That's correct.
Okay. My team, the better team, consists...
the evil team.
The very dysfunctional team. It'll be fine. Old Man Logan from Old Man Logan. Darth Maul from The Phantom Menace. Zeke Tyler from The Faculty. And Major Chip Hazard from Small Soldiers. That is an all-star lineup.
That's it.
My team's bringing in the money.
It's interesting.
As we said before, folks at home, let us know what you think about the draft by emailing us at all the details on the page. But I also want to hear back and see how what people end up with if they do the similar draft too. I think it'd be fun. But Rachel, you are back on the clock. It is the
That's
fifth
correct, yes.
pick. So
Well, okay. So I'm thinking.
she took that break to do a lot of thinking.
Oh my god. You know,
She had like
they give you this scenario.
pages.
They don't give you any time to think about
No,
it. It's just like immediate.
You gotta get on the ball.
So what I'm thinking is I'm going to need someone who can fight from afar or close. That was, you know, he might be in training in this one, but I think that he still has enough. He has enough skill to be welcome onto the team. I'm gonna go with Obi-Wan Kenobi.
It took a while before Obi-Wan went, but he is gone. Yes, he's not at the height of his powers. If we were doing Revenge of the Sith, Obi-Wan, he might be the first pick off the board.
Right.
Not quite the Michael Jordan of Jediing yet. Okay, so...
It's still kind of... I just feel like his mindset is a little bit better than Qui-Gon.
Yeah.
So that's why...
Qui-Gon's a drunk.
Yeah, he kind of seems like he's just done with it. So I think he'd just be like, you know what? I'm just going to go to the Force anyways. I don't want to deal with this zombie apocalypse.
Yeah, he might do a little too much meditation in the woods.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which could get him killed.
Obi-Wan might be willing to fight back.
Yeah. That's what I'm thinking.
Okay, not bad. All right, so I am back on the clock, and
you better not take who I'm thinking. I have other people. I have my last two in my head now. You better not take them. You already took Darth Maul. Okay, look.
This is hard.
This is hard.
The Gwendy dolls could be an interesting.
That could be a very
they're
interesting
like a swarm
pick.
themselves.
Right. Well, I was thinking about the Moloids, and they're kind of zombies themselves.
Yeah.
So I don't know about that. Yeah. You know, zombies versus zombies.
But the Gwendy dolls, under Chip Hazard's direction.
That's right. Think the Gwendy dolls that have the chips in them from yes. So like military Gwendy is kind of what we're thinking. Yeah.
Private First Class Gwendy or whatever.
That's right.
She says in the movie. I can't remember. But Boss Nass is a big frog.
You know what? Sometimes you just need a big frog. Yeah.
I really am not prepared to draft right now.
I mean, we all know that you want Jar Jar Binks, so just do it. Just pull the trigger. You need somebody funny to lighten the mood.
That's true.
You know, step in the poopy.
But
could be the one that you like just throw under the bus when you need to get out of a bind.
Bart is an interesting choice. Nelson too.
Ooh. All right. Mischievous characters.
Well, it goes with my theme.
Yeah, that's actually very true. You would go for another bully.
I can't take Archer or any of the Gorgonites because Chip would get distracted.
Yes, I agree.
So I can't take them. I kind of want to take Gil Mars because he is a warmonger.
Yes.
So maybe he has lots of weapons.
Ooh, interesting.
On hand.
That's probably very true.
And I bet he's
got
has
a lot
a
of money, right?
Yeah. So
interesting.
I'm looking
another kind of bad guy-ish kind of
Yeah,
character.
quite another kind of bad guy-ish. Yeah, that's true.
It's interesting though. I kind of like it because he liked Chip. Remember?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep. But I think I'm gonna shock you, Rachel.
Where are we going? Red Skull? Kingpin? The Hulklings?
Man, okay, so I'm gonna tell you what I'm thinking.
Okay,
I'm
that's
down.
fine.
I
Yeah,
have
that's
it down between 3.
Interesting.
You don't have to say, your opinions on
That's
it.
fine.
I'm thinking between Queen Amidala.
Interesting.
Ashley.
Okay.
Ashley Barton.
Wow.
From
Okay.
Logan. And another one of the folks from the faculty in Casey.
Oh, Casey.
So that's what
the survivor.
Yes, I'm debating between the 3 of them. Casey has a good knowledge of movie zombies.
Right.
And if it turns out that the faculty rules apply, whatever he thinks should happen, happens.
Right, yeah.
So he could be able to, anticipate the next move needed.
Mm-hmm. Would Chip listen to Casey?
That's a good question.
Because I know that Chip is the leader.
He'll see... Well, he will see the benefit of the other 3 that I've already have on the team.
Okay.
He's gonna understand.
He does like his team and small soldiers.
Yes.
So.
Ashley Barton is just a badass.
She was freaking badass.
But she is another amoral...
kind of a rebel,
Yeah.
You know, might shoot your head off.
She could
If she
throw
feels
one
like...
of my people in front of the zombie to get away.
Right.
So there is a problem there. Queen Amidala is interesting because, we made a lot of jokes, or we will, I'm sorry, because this is probably coming out before Phantom Menace. We've recorded it already. But if we make jokes at the expense of saying like a lot of the things that the Plinkett review says, where like she doesn't really have a character or anything like that, and I get it, she doesn't totally, but I would say, as much as she is just soft spoken and stern, she does have a knowledge of firing. She knows how to shoot.
Okay, yes.
And she can be diplomatic.
Right, yes.
As we saw. I don't know how that helps us with the zombies, but she might be able to
there's a lot of humans that you have to deal with, too, in a zombie apocalypse.
That's true. So she might be able to be diplomatic with the other groups, and she could help to pull the team together. If she can figure out Chip Hazard's my biggest wild card.
He's definitely
a wild card. I think the rest of them I can handle.
I don't know if she's going to think about Darth Maul, on the team, but maybe she's fine with it. Maybe she's like, you know what, we're in a dire situation.
Because of that, I kind of can't believe I'm going to do this, but I'm going to go with Queen Amidala.
All right. We have our choice.
I think Ashley Barton is too much of... I was going Ashley, I really was, but she's just too rebellious for me.
Interesting.
So she will not be my next pick. Rachel's going to take her right away now next time. Okay, so now the question is,
he thinks.
Do I go with Casey? Although you made good points about the problems with Casey. Does anyone on The Simpsons or Seinfeld really fit
I don't know.
in this
You
scenario?
like Casey is always seems to be like a favorite from the faculty.
Yeah.
So, I mean, he is, Frodo.
I'm going to take someone that I believe was the best. If you took all of the attributes of the guys from The Usual Suspects, I thought that he had the
I'm gonna kill you.
best techniques for this. I'm taking McManus.
Interesting.
Yes.
Interesting choice.
I'm going to take McManus, the Stephen Baldwin character.
Yes.
I thought he did seem to be the most calculating. He was a smart ass. Again, potentially volatile.
Right, yes. Mm-hmm.
But I do think that of the skills to do the thievery and stuff like that, you're Hawkeye. He's my version of
Interesting.
Hawkeye.
Yeah, I could see that.
Yeah.
I could see him being the Hawkeye of your group.
So I take McManus with my sixth pick.
Let me...
I'm going to need another girl, or Queen Amidala is in for a hell of a time with this group.
Yeah, I realize there's not a lot of women. I didn't think about that. That's a good point. Again, though, I think I'll be fine. Yeah, you heard me say I was gonna be so upset if you had chosen my character. Since you did mention Usual Suspects.
Before you go on, I do have another point about Queen Amidala, actually. She has body doubles, and that could be helpful.
But does she get the body doubles? Does that count towards your
guess
team?
Not. Probably not.
I don't know.
Folks at home, let us know.
That's a difficult one.
I don't think that people at home would allow us to do that. Okay, sorry.
It feels like cheating
so,
now.
So
It's just
what,
adding in
what
more
pick
characters. Okay, well, I mean, I feel like I have to think this through a little bit, but I was kind of looking at The Usual Suspects.
Okay.
And you went with McManus. A bit of a clown, in my opinion.
But
right?
I needed a clown to lighten the mood.
Sometimes you need a clown. I have Insaniac,
Yeah.
I was kind of thinking of a character who seems very level-headed, kind of knows what he wants a bit more, wants to be a good guy, but also knows how to get down and dirty when he needs to. I would like to go for Keaton.
Okay.
That's what I'm thinking I'm going to go with here. I mean, you did make a lot of good points, though, about Hawkeye's daughter. And Ashley is a badass in that one, but I still feel like she can
go rogue.
But I have Emma. And that's where I always come back to my Emma, who is my leader, who wants to keep everybody a bit calm when we need to.
Okay.
I also have Obi-Wan, who
That's
has
true.
the Force,
That's true.
and I also have her father.
Yeah, that's true.
Which could be a good thing.
Could be a good thing. Well, you
'Cause
got
she
you've got two
respects him.
picks. You could pick both of
I
them,
know,
unless you
I
had
know.
a-
Well, I mean, I
a
had an
third.
idea, you know, I mean, sometimes fighting death, you need Mr. Death. This is where I'm questioning, because
Yeah.
I was like, it could be a really good thing. He could understand how it's gonna work,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
He could kind of give us a heads up if he thinks one of us is about to die.
Or Henry J. Fate with his elixirs.
Ooh, see, I thought about that with the elixirs,
Yeah.
you know,
I don't
these
know how they could
elixirs
help.
that, well, if they make the elixirs that make us so we can't miss,
That's true.
right?
Yeah.
I mean, could be really nice to have a bit of magic and a little bit of science, you know, happening. It's a tough one. This is a tough one. So so on my thought list is Keaton, Ashley, Fate and Death, which is hilarious to me. Now you made me question my thoughts
I
here.
didn't make you do anything. I know you had like 5 people in your queue. I didn't take any of them.
Yeah. Well, Queen Amidala was a
Yeah, it's a wild card.
weird one
Yeah.
to me,
I still
considering.
think it's a weird one. I'm kind of regretting it.
You know you're not. I thought I was gonna regret Emma, but I really like how she kind of can.
And
I
think
like the lead that
I think
she
that
takes.
Queen Amidala can negotiate. We saw
We
her
like the
negotiate.
women leaders,
She
it
did
seems.
screw up a lot in the Phantom Menace. The downfall of democracy starts with
I never
her.
knew what the hell was going on in Phantom Menace, so.
But she negotiated with the big frog people. So
Yeah.
I'm hoping she can do that. And with Chip Hazard as the muscle by her side, she shouldn't do something totally stupid. He should be able to guide her in the right direction.
Interesting.
And Zeke.
Yeah.
Like, I think she has a counsel. She has got a good counsel around
Logan
her.
could be good on
Part
the
of the
console,
problem
too.
with Queen Amidala was she's
She's
just,
got some shitty people
and she's
around her.
young, she's
Yeah.
stupid.
Yeah. Yeah.
But anyway, I don't know. I still wouldn't. I don't know. I don't know if I would have gone with Ashley. She's just too volatile. Delilah Prophet.
I don't know.
She's too big of a bitch.
She's a bit of a bitch. Just a bit.
Stokes. I don't know what's. And then you get Mary Beth. Is she just going to try to take over
Right.
the world?
I feel like she's just gonna try to kill everyone. Professor Furlong, this is why I took Professor Furlong. He kind of kept himself a bit, even after.
Well, I mean, yeah.
Yeah. That's why I'm thinking,
So-
like, the alien
What
part
about
of it.
We haven't talked about Simpsons or Seinfeld.
I know.
Is there any?
Oof.
Do you have any Simpsons or Seinfeld potential?
Well, I feel like with Seinfeld,
The only one I think that could be
Kramer.
any good is Kramer.
Kramer.
He's the only one of the lineup. And remember, it's
He's
only the first
clever.
season. Only the first season.
But he's still clever.
yes.
He's a very clever individual that
he
I
is,
feel like
he is
could
still
work.
kind of a doofus, even in the
Yeah,
first
but
season.
sometimes you need a doofus. You always need a doofus.
And then The Simpsons, like I said, I think Bart, maybe Lisa even.
I'd even go Sideshow Bob. Even I
Even-
know he's
yeah.
like a bad guy, and I'm kind of trying to stay away from
in
that.
that scenario, but it's another Ashley Barton
Yes,
situation.
It is.
He could easily stab somebody in the back to save his own
But
ass.
I think he would only do that if they're such an asshole that he just wants to get rid of them.
Yeah.
I feel like he has a line. He has a line.
Is there a video game that we can play where we can make these characters in some sort
That's
of
what
zombie
I'm kind of thinking
scenario?
about. That, yeah. I think that'd be kind of fun.
Yeah, because I don't know if I would take any of the other Simpsons. Homer's season 1, I still don't think you could. Lisa isn't as smart as she will be yet, but she's still smart enough.
Right.
And Bart is
Which Lisa could be a good council person.
She
then.
could be a good
Absolutely.
council person. And Bart is enough of a Dennis the Menace type to potentially not the zombies necessarily, but the other human
Right.
stuff that you would
Just
come
in
contact
case,
with. Like
yeah.
a little nuisance.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know anybody else. Mr. Burns is too old. Like you're not
Yeah.
bringing the money in with
No.
Burns, I don't think.
Millhouse is Millhouse. You just can't. He's just cannon
Dr. Marvin
fodder.
Monroe Nelson.
Apu would be a good one. I feel like Apu's
he's
kind of
probably the only one
he
that you
kind
could
of
pick.
fights back when he has to.
He knows how to operate a firearm.
Right.
As is needed because he is the owner of Quickmart.
Exactly.
Okay.
So that's Krusty the Clown. No, he's too loud, too boisterous. He'd bring the zombies to you.
And he'd be doing cartwheels and backflips
Right, it's
and
just
shit.
too much.
Get him and Jar Jar on the
Oh,
same
good
team, and you're all
lord!
dead.
Oh, should we do a team of like just the worst? A team of the worst for
Maybe
a zombie?
We should, yeah.
All right. But
Okay.
here's my thought. Now that we kind of like talked about the other characters, that I'm gonna go back to my 4. Okay. I feel like Fate, as much as he'd make some elixirs, I do already have a scientist who could, potentially get us some sort of my biologist, Professor Furlong. Thank you.
Okay.
So I'm kind of thinking he could, if we have to, maybe he can come up with some sort of serum.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm feeling like Fate wouldn't be good because I don't think Fate could fight. I don't think Fate would fight. Mr. Death, same thing. He may have insights, but I don't think he would participate.
No, he doesn't have to. He's death.
Yeah, but he also can't. That's kind of like his thing, right? Him and Fate kind of go hand in hand. Like that's just the way it is.
Okay.
I don't think he would like the zombies though, because they're not dead; they're undead. So that's kind of what I'm thinking about.
Does he want to kill the zombies?
Right? Does he need to
restore
order?
it?
Yeah. So that's kind of why I'm like, well, it could still be death, but I think I've got it.
Okay.
I think I've got it. I'm gonna go with my first thought. I'm gonna go with Keaton.
Okay.
So I'm taking Keaton.
All right.
Because I still think he would do what he needs to and work well with the others.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think he would work well with the others. And he knows what he's doing.
And he knows what he's doing! And he can get dirty when he needs to.
I almost took Keaton over McManus, but I thought McManus's skills in a zombie apocalypse might be more beneficial.
I could see that.
Yeah. Interesting that we took, in the last 2
I know.
rounds, we took 2 Phantom Menace back-to-back, and then we took 2 Usual Suspects back-to-back.
Right, yes.
I don't think that either of us were drawn to that. That was what was in our heads.
Right.
Okay, Rachel, so this is the 7th round. This is the last official pick.
I know. And this is where I go, I don't know whether I should do Mr. Death or Ashley. You started to, you brought Ashley to light a little bit more for me. I was like, yes, she was a badass, and I do like her. Mm-hmm. I don't know. I mean, within the apocalypse that was happening with Logan, she did try to get to the top and was kind of all out for herself type of thing, right? Mm-hmm. And then I was saying with Mr. Death, I don't think he likes the zombies, and I feel like he has to get involved now in order to create balance again within the world. Okay. This is where I'm stuck.
Okay.
I do also like the idea of a balanced team with a bit more women, which kind of sucks too. I mean, but you could say Mr. Death is Mrs. Death, and it's a non-binary death. It's just death, right? So
he was clearly Mr. Death. He was not wearing a bow in his hair.
He could be Mr. Death for Bookman. Maybe Bookman sees death that way.
That's how death. Yes, that's true.
That the perception of death.
Sure.
A bit of a businessman for the peddler.
I hear you.
Yeah.
See, this is interesting because I don't know how many episodes we're coming out with before this episode, so you might have to go back and listen to some of these.
Why?
Well, because some of the characters we're talking about now during the draft, we haven't talked about yet for Shelf Life.
Yes.
In publication order. It's Baby Bruce, Rachel. You want a little green monster to carry around.
I mean, think about it though. Think about Baby Bruce.
Obi-Wan can carry him on his back.
But he's probably a little monster. He probably is a little, crazy monster that you could just go sick him, and then he goes and, rips off a zombie's head. You don't know, we don't know how strong Baby Bruce is. No. We don't. But knowing the Hulklings thing could be a little monster.
Yeah, it's a big decision.
This is hard. Why is this hard? Death was gonna be my final. Yeah. And then you had a swinging Ashley in there on me.
I gave you reasons why Ashley could be good, but also bad.
I honestly think, and for the fact that we do see him kind of bending in the salesman, right, of the Twilight Zone, I think I have to go with Mr. Death because of the need for balance in the world. And I feel like he would get involved and he would have insights, and I like the idea of that.
Okay.
Death versus Death.
So you're taking Mr.
I
Death.
think I'm going to take Mr. Death.
Okay. Mr. Death is off the board. So Rachel's team has 7 people.
That is correct.
Okay, now back to me. And I had an idea. I'm going to tell you what my idea was. I told
you mine.
I was going to take someone... So Casey's still an option for me. Other than Casey, I'm looking at Lisa.
Interesting. The kind of very parallel characters.
Or...
in a way.
Christy Fimple. Who I know you probably didn't have your eye
Christy
on that.
Fimple?
Yeah, because
right.
she's just not like other girls. And, and she's clearly a psychopath. She ran over those toys with glee.
That's right. Yeah, that's true.
But then I basically have 2 teenage girls on the team.
One of them's an alien.
True. But I just don't know if these teenage girls... Logan would protect them?
Absolutely.
So I guess
100%.
that is a benefit?
Logan is very protective of his girls.
And I feel like Major Chip Hazard might
you have another
respect.
teenager, too. You have Zeke.
I have Zeke, too. You're right. I have a lot of teenagers on my team.
Sometimes you need the young ones, though, right?
See, McManus is not going to like being with all these teenagers. But the youth will inherit the world when the zombies take over.
Right,
Rachel.
yes, of course.
So, my Lisa issue is that she's even younger.
Yeah, she's a child.
And I have to keep it to the first season. Mm-hmm. And she is very smart. But I don't know if she's more of a philosopher.
True.
She's more Plato than anything else. I don't know if her smarts are practical based on the first season. She's book smart.
Interesting, yes.
As opposed to what we've learned. Like Maggie would be a great pick for later seasons.
Absolutely.
Because she can get around the zombie apocalypse.
Oh, absolutely, 100%. She'd live. She'd be the survivor.
And we've talked about Casey. I don't know what it means if I take Christy Fimple, though. Because then it's like I've got
a very
3
interesting
teenagers.
One. But then Queen Amidala kind of has a friend, somebody to,
Yeah.
confide in. Mm-hmm. Logan will take care of them.
Mm-hmm.
So if McManus does anything creepy, or if Zeke decides to be a jackass...
That's what I'm worried about, is McManus. Because, who else could I take? I don't think Delilah would be a good team player. Stan is stupid. He's just going to get eaten by the zombies right away. None of the rest of the faculty I really think is worth taking. Coach Willis is a hothead.
Definitely. Nurse Harper?
What, for her nurse abilities?
Yes.
She's a terrible nurse. She came to school,
but she's got an alien in her head. She might be able to help.
That's if you put the alien in her head, I guess.
I'm kind of keeping the alien in Furlong's head.
Also possible, because I didn't think about this, Irene Abernathy, because of the fact that she's great with a flaming tennis ball.
Yeah, she is. Oh yeah. Yeah, she's got great aim.
Some skill. At least taking out the hordes of toys. So there is that possibility too.
But you have hordes of zombies,
mm-hmm. So I never even thought about that. Looking at the roster sheets, Irene Abernathy is a possibility. I really don't think any of the Seinfeld folks, like we talked about. It's really just Kramer. I don't think Elaine. I don't think Jerry. George, definitely not. None of the other...
Morty's a bit of an inventor.
Morty could be okay, but not the Morty that we see in the first season.
No, yeah, you're right.
He just lays in bed. And then it kind of comes back. You know what? All right, I'm going to tell you right now. I'm between Ashley Barton and Christy Fimple. And they're both kind of teenagers. And I'm trying to think of what works better, who would work more cohesively.
With your dynamic.
Yeah.
Yep.
I've got a lot of roughnecks on this team.
You do.
I've got Darth Maul.
Yep.
I got McManus.
Yep.
I got Chip Hazard.
Right.
Even Logan's a roughneck.
Yeah.
And
Zeke.
Even Zeke.
He's very...
Christy, although she's not like other girls, is potentially... I don't know how she did fine with those toys.
Right.
But I think I'm going to take a risk.
Uh-oh.
And I'm going to take Ashley Barton.
Okay. I almost took her.
I know.
I almost did it.
I almost had her off my board, but I convinced myself to take her over Christy. Christy might have been my next pick if I had to take one.
Yeah.
Honestly, because I liked how she mowed down all of them.
If I had gotten another choice and you didn't take her, I would have taken Ashley.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I feel like Mr. Death versus Death, it feels
I don't
right.
think I probably would have taken Death if you didn't.
Yeah, it's hard not to.
Yeah. Okay,
Death on your team would be super interesting. So interesting. Because he has Logan who cannot die.
Cannot die.
Darth Maul who just...
Well, he gets cut in half.
Yeah, I know.
Spoiler
but I feel like
alert.
he shouldn't. And then we...
I feel like he probably shouldn't have.
Major Chip Hazard who's just like how...
Yeah, well, he can be
artificial life where he's like,
electromagnetically
what the
pulsed.
hell? I'm a
Yeah.
little confused.
Yeah.
Like, you shouldn't be alive.
So, our 7 rounds, our teams. Rachel, you want to go run down your team?
Okay, yeah, so my team, we have Emma Frost, we have Insaniac, we have Hawkeye, Old Man Hawkeye, we have Professor Edward Furlong, Obi-Wan Kenobi, Keaton, and Mr. Death.
Yes. And on my team, we have Logan, Darth Maul, Zeke Tyler, Major Chip Hazard, Queen Amidala, McManus, and Ashley Barton. These 2 groups, for folks at home, feel free to write up a little comic book adaptation of these 2. These
Could
are
you imagine like a picture of them all together, like in like
yes,
a hero pose?
that's what I want. These are 2 very different zombie movies.
Oh, absolutely.
That we have
What
just
if they
created.
What if it's one zombie movie and these teams end up fighting?
Oh. One is the Negan team and one is the
Right.
Rick Grimes team.
Yeah, right.
We can definitely tell what's
Yeah,
what.
that's very obvious.
No, these are very interesting because my team is definitely taking the fight to the zombies.
Yes.
And yours is going to try to recreate society.
Right, and do what they need to get rid of the zombies as they go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's 2 very different paths we took,
Absolutely.
I think.
I see it that way.
I think it's very clear. Now I'm gonna throw a little monkey wrench at you, Rachel.
Oh no. Okay, alright.
I want us to draft 1 to 2 people
Okay.
that you would invite along on the team, because as part of every zombie story, somebody has to die. So if it isn't one of these 7, because
They're the red shirt.
in the fan fiction, somebody, one of these 7 might die on each side, at least.
True, yeah.
But if you had to draft someone for the sole purpose of them getting a great zombie death, who would it be?
Great zombie
A great
death,
zombie
though.
death.
Ooh, that's hard.
Is it? There are some...
Well, you said you wanted a great zombie death,
There are
though.
some people
Oh no, I know.
that are...
I mean, do you have, like, but they have to be invited on my team, is the
They
thing,
would have
right?
to start on the team. Like, because I'm thinking, like, first act, they're introduced.
Right.
By the end of the first act, or the beginning of the second, they're dead.
Okay, so I have 2 people in mind.
Okay.
Well, I have 2 characters in mind, I should say.
One is not a person.
One is an alien.
You bring in Hulk. You want to bring an old man Hulk.
Could you imagine?
It would have to be like a swarm
It would be
of
a
zombies.
swarm.
Yeah.
You'd just be like, "Come on, Hulk, get out of there!" And then, but I just feel like he wouldn't.
I think he'd take out too many of your teammates
I
before
think he
died.
would. I think he would. That's the problem. So you can't go with Hulk, right? The Hulklings, maybe could be a fun death because they would go out screaming, yelling, and like not caring that they're dying.
Sure.
Right? They're hooting and hollering.
Yeah.
That's what's happening there. But I'm kind of thinking, which it could go along with Phantom Menace, maybe, if we go with Jar Jar. Because I do not think that Obi-Wan liked Jar Jar.
That's the stereotypical, like,
I feel like it's the
but-
easy one to
Yeah,
go for, right?
Of course. But it does bring in that, look at this freaking annoying character. And then you get to see him die.
And then you get to see him die. And I just feel like it works because I feel like Obi-Wan would not, like, would be
He
like,
did
you
not
know
like
what?
Jar
No,
Jar.
he didn't like it. I don't think Emma would like him at all. Furlong
No.
might think he's funny. I could see that happening.
And Insaniac.
Yes. Insaniac, of course, would get along with
Yeah.
him.
I think Hawkeye puts a arrow through his eye.
100%. Because he's getting, like, eaten by the zombies. That could happen, absolutely. My other thought was Milhouse.
Does he... In season 1, he shows up only a couple of times. But you do see Milhouse.
You
yeah.
do see Milhouse.
Yeah.
But I do feel like he's this this kid, you know, they feel like they need to protect him, but then he's just fumbling around constantly, and he probably would be the one to die.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Or go out kicking, you know, and maybe they give him a bomb and he has to, like, run into a building.
Like Child's Play 3. Okay. I think those are fair. So those would be your red shirts.
I could see them, like, thinking, okay, well, we have to protect this person or thing, right? And then they go, okay,
brings
wait
the
a
group
minute.
down a bit.
Yeah.
I am gonna go. Again, it's probably an obvious pick. I think I mentioned it earlier. George Costanza.
Ooh. That could be a funny death.
Yes.
To be quite honest.
Now, first season George isn't quite George, as we outlined in our episode. Check it out. Back pages or forward pages, wherever it's at. But he is confidently stupid still in the first season.
Yeah, I would say he's confidently stupid. I think that's a great way to describe him.
It'd be his downfall. So I think that would be an interesting... I think that would be an interesting zombie death. And then I also think, because it has to kind of
George
be a
Costanza on your team, too. That's all I'm imagining. It's
because
so
everyone would be like, freaking Costanza.
Can't stand you. Sorry, that comes later.
all of the people, look at that lineup, and then George Costanza. They'd be like,
Zeke would make fun of him.
We have to kill him ourselves.
Constantly. Zeke would be bullying him.
The other potential
Ashley would be like, no, this man has to die.
We've got to kill him. It's the line from This Is the End where Danny McBride is eating all their food and they're like, this guy's gotten fatter since this started.
No.
The other potential one, and I was looking at the faculty list again, potentially killing or seeing the death of Mr. Tate could be interesting.
He'd go ham on them as he's dying, I feel like.
But I actually was thinking Phil Fimple. Because...
Oh, no, Coach Willis is who I'm thinking of. Who's Mr.
You're
Tate?
thinking of Coach Willis.
Which one's Mr. Tate?
Mr. Tate is Kruger. Coach Willis is actually an interesting thought, though.
Yeah.
Because he would fit in with the team, and then he would just fall out of favor when he dies. Phil Fimple...
Ooh, Phil!
Because I think Phil Hartman, as Phil Fimple, would...
Oh, he'd love it.
Yeah.
He would have loved that.
Would have really chewed on that.
Absolutely.
So I think that's another way to go with it, for sure. And then Twilight Zone, I was looking at it. I don't think Lou Bookman would make a good death for it.
No.
I think Earl Holliman kind of went through some stuff. Pete Grant, not really. So I don't really see anybody on that list. The only one I could see...
Maggie. I'd feel so bad.
Yeah, so I think that would be my choice. Phil Fimple, George Costanza. Kind of bumbling
characters.
But yeah, I got a little bumbling
saying.
characters in there, you know. In the same token, you could do like a Homer. But, you know, like that kind of a thing, too, and get that in there. So
right.
That is our
Maybe
first.
That's your Krusty the Clown.
He
could be really loud. You can, like, lead the zombies away and die.
But again, any of these characters they'd kill them themselves.
Right.
Okay, so we have completed a draft here for our first annual Shelf Life Fantasy Draft.
That's right.
Let us know what you thought. If you thought this was fun, we just did it for kicks because we were trying to think of fun stuff we could do with the things that we were talking about.
Yeah.
All the detail and stuff, I'm sure, is wherever that you got this in the description of the podcast. We're coming out with some more stuff for Season 1. Season 2 will be down the line.
Oh, yeah, that's on its way. Don't you worry.
Well, it's a ways away.
Okay, fine.
But it is down the
Still
pipe.
there.
We're recording it as I speak. And I think that's
Take your guesses as to what's part of Season 2.
Any parting thoughts? Oh, and let us know what you thought of the teams. And,
yes. Yeah, let us know what you think of our teams. Who do you think has the better team? And I want to know who you would have drafted on your team. Mm-hmm. So let us know your teams as well, because I would love to see what you guys come up with.
Yeah. Any parting thoughts? Any advice for people drafting fantasy football players?
Well,
Don't deviate from your plan just because somebody does something stupid.
Right, yes. Yeah, you gotta.
Rachel has a very set plan.
I do. I usually have a set plan, but then if
You haven't
somebody
looked it
does,
up yet. In fairness, we're recording this a few weeks before the
True.
draft, so
but if somebody does something, I might, just have to take something away from them. Sometimes you just gotta fight a little dirty.
know your league.
Know your league.
Know your
yes.
league.
So you always gotta
Just
watch
like-
for that
just
as well.
like the shelf life draft. I know Rachel's tendency. I didn't see her picking Emma Frost right away, but
I needed a leader.
yeah.
And I thought she was a good leader because she had that whole area. So.
She did. The whole mutant refuge.
And now you have like 4 leaders on your team, so you gotta be careful.
They all serve different functions. So, I think a successful draft.
I agree.
Until we do it next time, maybe with more people. We'll definitely have more characters if
We'll
we have
see
more
if we
episodes.
can have some friends.
So, I've been Kevin,
And I'm Rachel.
and this has been Shelf Life, the Fantasy Draft Edition. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Dun, do.